If you don't have a good grip on your tennis racket, then you're just not playing your best tennis. It feels uncomfortable. The racket's gonna twist and turn in your hand more than it should. And just in general, you don't feel as confident or connected to your racket. And that just ends up affecting your play in a negative way. And unfortunately, when people let their grip get old and kind of ratty, and you can see it starts getting discolored and these edges start showing down around the bottom and the plastic on the butt cap starts digging into your hand. When that starts happening, you have two main roads that you can go down to replace your grip. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing two very different methods or different types of grips that you can use to replace the crappy old replacement grip or go over the top of it, which we're going to be talking about. And this is a great example of an old grip that needs to be dealt with. If you keep playing with this, you're not going to be playing your best tennis. And this is a replacement grip. This is the grip that came on the racket from the factory, and that's what I have here that we got from the store. It actually says right here, replacement grip. And what that means is it's meant to replace the grip that came with your racket. And let me show you what's underneath this really quick so that you can see exactly what we're working with. So this is the racket of one of our production people, Tyler. This is a really, really old grip. And if we take off the replacement grip, then you can see the bevels of the handle underneath. And this is just the raw material of the racket. And you can see the butt cap, which is stapled on to the bottom. That's the plastic part on the bottom that creates a little bit of a contour on the bottom for the heel of your hand to slide over. And so this is the raw grip, the raw handle underneath the replacement grip. And most players who don't know any better or haven't been around the game for very long or just don't know much about gear and equipment would go and buy another replacement grip. And replacement grips are much thicker. They're more difficult to apply than an overgrip, and they're also a lot more expensive. This replacement grip costs $8 at the store, and we're gonna compare it to this grip that you can get for free. I'll tell you about that in a second. So let's take a look at the material of each of these grips. All right, so here's the replacement grip. Again, this is the $8 grip. You've got your adhesive tape on the back. This one is actually kind of one of the more fancy. I used to, back in the day when I was a junior, I used to like these with it's got kind of a ridge on it for a little bit of extra grip, which is something I rarely ever see players playing with, but every once in a while somebody has a personal preference for the little contour ridge on the grip. But it's got a nice tacky feel to it, really classic, clean, secure feeling texture to it, which is really nice, which is what people want on their handle when they're playing tennis. Now compare that to this grip here from dollargrip.com, which for a limited time you can actually get one of these sent to your door for free. They're the official grip of Essential Tennis. If we unwind this one and take a look at the texture on this one, it's got a protective film over the top of the grip, and it's a really, really similar texture feel. It's got that same really satisfying tacky feel to it. In fact, I would say the Dollar grip is more tacky than this replacement grip. The main difference is it isn't nearly as thick. The over grip is much thinner. It's easier to stretch and it's easier to apply over the top of your handle. And that's the main thing that you want to keep in mind is an over grip generally you're putting over the top of your replacement grip. So you've got the handle of the racket, you've got the replacement grip or the grip that came from the factory. Once that grip starts to look ratty and worn and old and it doesn't feel as good, maybe it's even getting crumbly, that's when you want to start getting over grips, because over grips are much cheaper, they're much easier to swap out. And so if you play a lot of tennis and you're replacing your grip maybe once a month or once every other month, doing it with a replacement grip like this one just doesn't make as much sense financially or in terms of how much effort it takes to take it off and put it back on again. Because the replacement grips are so much thicker, there's not really any give, there's not really any stretch to them. So installing them or applying them is not easy. Whereas the Dollar grip here you can see it's got some give, some stretch, and that makes the wrapping of the grip much, much easier. One factor you do want to keep in mind is that when you put an over grip over the top of your replacement grip, which is, this is my racket, this is a dollar grip over the top of my replacement grip. One element you want to keep in mind is that it will increase the grip size just slightly. Again, these are super thin and nice and tacky, but it will increase the thickness just a little bit. So it's going to feel like your grip is a little bit thicker. And it also tends to take away a little bit of the definition of the bevels. So once in a while, you'll see players with multiple over grips over the replacement grip, and it starts to kind of create more of a circle. Your handle really just becomes kind of more round, and you can't feel the bevels as much. And so for that reason, sometimes you'll see players completely remove the replacement grip, where you can really literally see the angles and the edges and the corners, and you'll see people put an over grip right on top of their handle. And that way you get more of a contoured feel, more of an edgy feel to the handle. It's easier to find the bevels. And sometimes players prefer the thinner handle as well. If you put a over grip on top of your handle, directly on top, instead of the over grip first, now you've got a downsized handle, which it's really popular right now among high-level players. So a couple elements to consider, to keep in mind. Overall, the quality and the feel, the tackiness is really similar between the two. And right now you can't beat the price. If you go to dollargrip.com, we'll send one of these to you for free. As of the release of this video, I can't promise how long we'll be able to do that because we have a lot of followers. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want a free grip. But even once the free ones are out of stock, they will be available for purchase for a fraction of the cost of what it would cost, even for a normal, like the really popular white Wilson overgrips. Dollar Grip is really putting together some incredible prices. So definitely go check it out. I need to regrip this one. This is what it looks like after a month or two of use. Looking forward to putting this fresh one on my grip.